Hola amigos, my name is Blake and I am a sommelier from the United States, but now I live in Ecuador. I'm back on the rooftop with the Pacific Ocean behind me and a bottle of wine in front of me. That can only mean one thing. This is Gringo Wine Guy. Hello wine lovers. Once again, it was just too windy to do this up on the rooftop, so I've come inside and sought shelter next to the pool down on the ground floor. Today I have a Spanish wine for you. This is Peñasol Selection Tempranillo Garnacha. This is from Castilla-La Mancha, Spain. Now this particular brand Peñasol is quite popular here in Manta, Ecuador. I've noticed in a few restaurants when I order house wine, particularly Vino Tinto, the red wine, Peñasol is a wine of choice, particularly Peñasol Merlot. This is a bit more intriguing to me because it is Tempranillo and Garnacha. Let's talk about those two grape varietals right now. So Tempranillo is very prolific all around the country of Spain. I guess it's best known as the grape of Rioja. Garnacha, on the other hand, is grown in a lot of countries, very, very successful in France and in Spain, also in the United States, particularly in California and Washington State. Most successful, I think, Garnacha or Grenache, as it's known in France, the Southern Rhone Valley, particularly Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Gigondas, and even Côtes-du-Rhône. A lot of times you'll see a Grenache Syrah Mourvèdre blend in the wines labeled as Côtes-du-Rhône. So here we have the grape of Rioja and the grape of Southern Rhone, Tempranillo and Garnacha. The legal classification of this wine is Vino de la Tierra de Castilla, as you can see on the back label. And if you've ever been shopping and you come across a wine from France labeled as Vin de Pédac, this is the same kind of classification. This literally means a country wine. Vin de Pédac, a countryside wine. Now the lowest classification in Spain is Vino de Mesa or table wine. This is just a step above that. And I think it's important to point that out. The hierarchy on the quality scale based on the Spanish government, because this wine is under $5 at the grocery store. I'd like everyone to think about all the $5 wine that they've had in their lives. And coming from the US, when I think about $5 wine, it really comes down to just a couple things. $2 Chuck, and maybe in the early days, something like Yellowtail. I don't know if this wine has any presence in the United States. I don't recall seeing it when I lived there. But again, as I mentioned, Spanish wine, always a great value. This is a $5 wine, and I like the Merlot that I've had in the past, so I hope I like this a little bit more than $2 Chuck. This wine's got small legs on it. That's typically an indication of the glycerin content in the wine, which relates to the alcohol content. This wine is 12.5% alcohol. That's kind of low, I think, for Grenache or Tempranillo. In both cases, they can be harvested at a little bit higher alcohol content and bottled as high as 14.5% and 15%, particularly in the production of something like Châteauneuf-du-Pape when it's made from 100% Grenache. There are 13 varietals permitted in the making of Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Tempranillo, likewise, when it's grown in Toro, it can be a little bit higher in alcohol content, again, as high as 15%. Very dark brooding color, black and blue fruits, red fruits, maybe even a little bit of strawberry licorice, which is kind of interesting with this wine. So 12.5% Vino de la Tierra Castilla from Spain. Let's taste it. Well, this is somewhere between light and medium bodied. The flavors follow up on the spicy element, in particular pepper, whether it's black pepper or white pepper, somewhere right in between. Not much of a finish. I mean, you're not going to get that obviously from a $5 wine. There's probably little to zero oak utilized in this wine whatsoever. I do know that it is fermented all in stainless steel. It tastes really good. It's refreshing. It's nice. This could be enjoyed across a wide range of food. This would be great at lunchtime with cold cuts from the deli, to be quite honest with you. The flavor profile is absolutely red fruit. Yeah, almost there's a faint flavor of grapefruit in there, which is kind of interesting. That's something I might only associate with a white wine or particularly a rosé. Now, if you like the flavor of grapefruit, maybe you should seek out Grenache Rosé, something from Provence, France, or anywhere else in Europe where they grow Grenache and make rosé wine. It is currently the end of August. We're not too far away from Thanksgiving in November. This is a wine that I would like to bring to a Thanksgiving dinner. There's two wines I like especially on Thanksgiving Day with turkey. Zinfandel would be the first, and then Grenache, this kind of wine, is great with turkey, great with ham, great with candied yams, all those things that you associate and all those flavors you associate with the fall and with Thanksgiving. And of course, I'm speaking to those of you in the U.S. or who have lived in the U.S. And know just how much food and wine you can have on Thanksgiving Day. And this is a great complement to mom's or grandmother's turkey dinner. This would also be a good fit for barbecue, particularly St. Louis style ribs. I happen to like spicy vinegar sauce. A lot of you probably watching from the Midwest might prefer a Kansas City style sauce, which is slightly sweeter. That being said, those type of barbecue sauces, barbecued ribs with this wine, nice complement with the sweetness of that Kansas City style barbecue and the slight dryness and tanginess of this wine. Not a lot of acidity in this wine, but I just think that would be a really good match with the rack of ribs. Okay, I will say this is a decent wine. Again, it's only $5. It's no Chateauneuf du Pape, it's no Numantia, but if you're gonna buy those wines, you better put a 1 and a 2 in front of the 5 before you buy those wines. Comparing this to other $5 wines, this is decent. This can be enjoyed across a lot of areas. It's pleasant. It's certainly not off-putting at all. I think if I were to, it's hard for me to say how I would score this blind since I know what it is and I know how much it costs. But if I were to put this in a tasting with some of my colleagues who tasted it blind, I can honestly say this would probably get scores anywhere from between maybe 75 to 85 points on a scale of 1 to 100. That being said, for $5, that's a pretty good investment. Peñasol, Vino Tinto Tempranillo Garnacha, Castilla-La Mancha, Spain. I like it. I think I'll buy it again. This is Gringo Wine Guy. Thanks for watching. Adios.